Good evening, with this video. Today we have a updated premium review on the Celere Sahariano. This is a tank that got a recent price increase, but otherwise hasn't really changed from the last time I reviewed it. And, well, this tank is simply fun, let's put it that way, and it's definitely better than the second vehicle in the lineup there. So, without further ado, before we get into the weaponry, armor, and mobility of this vehicle, in the description below you can either skip ahead to just that, or you can skip straight ahead to the gameplay of the vehicle so you can see how it does. Without further ado, let's get in, but first we need to discuss the price increase. So this vehicle used to cost 700 Golden Eagles, which put it on par with the M1441 at 47/40, which, comparing these two, is like comparing a Fiat 500 in the case of the M14 to the Celere, which is like a Ferrari, because even though this thing has the same gun, this thing is a heck of a lot quicker, handles a lot better, and is just overall a better vehicle. But I suppose for Chad points, you'd want to drive the Fiat, but, well, that's about it, really. So the Celere starts off with pretty much being quite small for a medium tank. As you can see, the M1441 is quite a tall-ish sort of medium. Well, it's not tall compared to a Sherman, but in the context of these two, it's quite tall. And you can see just how small this thing actually is, and people actually confuse this thing for a light tank, which makes sense, but it's quite surprising like how small this thing is and you can easily hide it. And with 10 degrees of gun depression as well, this turret is really small and hard to hit if it's hull down, so it can definitely make use of that. Whereas the M14 has a much bigger turret, which is a lot easier to get shots into. Obviously, it still has the Trollage gun mantlet, but that's besides the point. Now, I know what some people are thinking. Why am I comparing these two tanks? The short answer is the Celere and the M14 are commonly talked about for the best premium for rank to Italy before the M4 Hybrid went up in rank. And the short answer is, if you're buying the Celere, you're actually using your brain, because the Celere is just an all-round better vehicle, more consistent, more fun to drive, and most importantly, it can actually make use of that gun even though it's not the best gun and it's at a higher BR. The short answer is you'd only buy the M14 if you was desperate for a premium and you wanted the starter pack, but if you've seen my starter pack reviews, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's compare the two via their armor. So the armor of the Celere on paper looks better if you look up here. Now there is a catch to this. These two sections here, the lower parts of the hull, are really weak at just 20mm of thickness. Now, realistically, you're rarely not gonna get many people shooting here. They tend to shoot the upper front plate, which, again, this seems weak on paper, but I'll get into this in a moment. As you can see with the M14, it does have 30mm of armor with the machine gun port as well, which the amount of idiots I think this thing makes up for how crap this tank is unbelievable. But anyway, so this does have a 50mm driver's port, which is tough, but no one ever shoots here. The Celere, however, like I said, it looks like it's only got 15mm of armor here and a 35 slope back, which is actually better than the M14's 50. So realistically, this is actually bouncing more shots than the M14's driver's hatch. However, if we go over to the side of the vehicle like this and look here, there is actually a second plate, which is 35mm. It's 15 bolted on. So as you can see, if we go to the analysis and we'll take the stock round of the Su-76, which has really good angle pen, mind you, but 64mm of effective protection against a Russian gun means the 45mm is not punching through this. Now if we go to a normal cap shell, you can see again 64, but if we go to an American round, such as the M5A1 Stuart with the M51 shot, this just has no chance, even against the driver's hatch. Now, of course, as I said, this is where the weak point comes in, but with the 10 degrees of gun depression, this can really make it work. Now, you can obviously go for the turret with the slight angled parts here, but it doesn't do much shrapnel. You can potentially go for the gun mantlet, but it doesn't really do much unless you hit specific parts. And of course, hitting the flat front part of the turret is obviously going to go through. It's only 30mm thick. But the fact is, this double-layered gun mantlet, which the M14 shares, This vehicle makes much better use of it, for the simple fact of smaller profile, easier to hide, and it's just overall a better vehicle to position. So now let's look at the side armor, and this is where the Celere does fall short, unfortunately. This is only 15mm on the side, 25 on the side of the turret, and onto the rear is 15, and on the top is 8, which you'll see in the gameplay, a lag 3 takes advantage of that and nails my radiator, but I mean, you're not expecting a lot of top armor from these sorts of tanks. Whereas with something like the M14, it's a little better on the sides, better on the rear, and the top is about the same, except for this one part. So, where does the Celere make up then? Its armor isn't as good in some places, but it's better on the front, and its turret is all around better. Where does this thing make up the difference? Well, as I said, the turret is much better overall, but it's where the mobility comes into play. We have a 275 horsepower engine, which is, well, yeah. Comparing it to the M14 is quite night and day. The M14 is 14.6 tons at 160 horsepower, so it's barely touching 10 horsepower per ton. Whereas this thing is doing over 20 horsepower per ton and has a top speed of 37 miles per hour. Now, it's only a 3-speed transmission, but it does get up to that speed very quickly. Where this vehicle does fall short, though, is the reverse rate, but to be fair, the M14 isn't doing much better with just 3.2. If you're reversing out of a situation, you've probably overextended, and that is something that you're going to have to watch with this thing, because obviously it has such good mobility. But yeah, I would advise being very careful with this vehicle sometimes, because if you do overextend, it doesn't have the gun to deal with a lot of targets that you're going to be meeting at 2.7. You have to make use of flanking routes, weak spots, and in some cases you just can't pen it, like the M4A3 105, for example. Make sure to not overextend using your mobility, put this thing in a good position, and it will do the work for you. So now that we've talked about the gun a little bit, let's talk about that gun. So we have the main round, which is the Granata Perforante Mod 39. This has 30 grams of TNT equivalent, although I think that's a load of bollocks, because this shell really does pack more than 30. I'm fairly certain that's a typo, because this gun hits a hell of a lot harder than any 30-gram gun I've ever used. And yeah, there's no questioning it. The M14 and the Celere both share the same gun, but the fact is you can get this thing into a better position to make use of that gun, even though it's not the best of guns at the BR. And as you'll see in the gameplay, I'm even killing Russian tanks because I just get around them quite easily. And just overall, I'm able to position myself and ambush people because they don't expect an Italian tank with such a punch to be waiting for them. You can't do that in the M14. It's just too slow. You're going to be picked off quite easily. And the Celere's sloped armor can sometimes save it. And that's really what makes a difference here. So that pretty much summarizes the Celere Sahariano. I would personally go for this over the M1441 any day of the week. But of course, if you are limited on a budget, I would wait till the sale drops. If you do want a deal, however, for Italian premiums, you could, and I'm really stating that you shouldn't, but you could get the Italian starter pack, which has the M14 and the RE 2001. But personally, I just don't advise that, and I would just advise picking up the Celere. The Celere will do much better in most situations compared to the M1441. The only time the M14 might do better is when dealing with light vehicles, because obviously this only has an 8mm coax. This does have a hull-mounted 13.2, but the fact is it's hull-mounted, not roof-mounted or anything like that. So it can be very tricky to get that to work. So personally, stick with the Celere and ignore the M14 unless you are absolutely desperate for a premium. Anyway, I'm going to head over to the gameplay now. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the Celere in action, and, well, we'll be seeing the Celere in action, I should say. And like I said, even though this thing's gone up in price, this thing's only 425G on a sale. It's a steal. Get yourself one. You will not regret it. Anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it, and I'll see you all on the next one. That moment when you're so fast you're outrunning a light tank. God, I love the speed of this thing. Definitely justifies the price increase because this thing is really good. Like, yeah, the gun isn't great, but That's why I use the mobility. Danger close. Thank you. Where's the other tank? Right, my front armor's not going to save me from a Zis 30. We need to move. Yeah, he's angry. Thank you. That's one of the most dangerous tanks you can meet in this thing. Where's that Zis? I can hear something. I think that's going to be the Zis. See, that's the thing. Even though I've not been in the best situation, it's the fact that I can get this thing to a location where I can get the gun to hit weak spots, hit certain parts, etc. It's just one of those kind of vehicles, and it's great for that. Oh shit, right there. I think I hit his gun barrel. There we go. Oh! Shit, there's something right there, we need to move. Nope, 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 nope. We're just gonna have to risk it and hope for it. So we got lucky there. Suppressing fire. And I'll drop Smarty on him. Now where'd that tank go that was behind me? Okay, he's buggered off. Let's see if we can get into position. Because we have a small profile. Yeah, it looks like the side panel ate that heat round. We got lucky, but to be fair, the enemy over there was distracted. Right, should be able to squeeze this thing through. It's a bit of a wide boy. There we go. What's the gun impression on this? I never remember. 10. That's friendly. That's okay. Barely see the little shit. Let's deal with his buddy first. I was hoping for an engine shot, but no, apparently not. There we go. Alright, there he is. He's looking up here now. Got him. So we are shooting at lightly armoured stuff, but the fact is that I've been able to get into a really strong position just because of the mobility. Here's something. That sounds like a BT. It is a BT. Fuck. It's okay, no need to worry. He knows where we are now, but that particular BT can't stick out. Okay, we don't need to worry about him, I don't think. The turret traverse is definitely something that limits this thing, but as you can see, the whole traverse is very good. Like, what more can I say? Panzer II. That's a bomb for me. We're good. Nope. Low bridge. Hey! You pack it in, young man. Actually took out the radiator. We need to stop and repair that. Does anyone remember the days when radiators used to not mean anything? We were basically spaced armor. Those were the days. Okay, that is a Biathlon 10. I want to stay undetected from that. We don't have a roof-mounted machine gun, but I'm not losing sleep over that. My teammate here, though, does, so I will leave him to be an anti-aircraft. Ooh, hold on. You are joking. What? Okay. That has 15mm of armor. How the hell does that not pen? You know what? I'm just not going to question at this point. I'll back up just in case he gets a lucky shot. Are you trying to tow hook me? I don't need to be towed. I don't even know why that was turned on, to be honest. Yeah, there's a guy down there. Can't get my gun down hard enough. Right, let me get you out of there. Okay, no, he's fine. Oh, hold up. Truck. Maneuver. Load AG. I think it's dead already. Back to AP it is. The HE on this thing, unlike the Tehran that I recently reviewed, is actually pretty potent. Yeah, go get him, buddy. That's probably not the way to do it, though. Oh, he's there. That's fine. Because you have someone else to deal with. Oh, good old teamwork making the dream work. Like I said, that's an old trick. The old reverse side scraping. Okay, let's get a bit more stuck in. I'm gonna jump down off here. Careful. Oh! I feel sorry for Mario's got to service the suspension later. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like I said though, this thing is really mobile, really gets itself into a good position. Not that M14 piece of crap. This thing can actually move. Yeah, they share the same gun, which I'm sure someone's going to go in the comments and say, but the fact is this thing can actually, you know, get to locations and actually use that gun effectively. Thank you. That ricocheted off the gun barrel. That was lucky. That was quite lucky. Normally the AP round doesn't do that. Is there something up here, buddy? I will go investigate. I hear something though. Is it friendly? It is not friendly. Let's go find him. It's a T-50. Now he's just as fast as us, but we have a slightly better turret traverse. But we have a similar gun, so this will be interesting. But I have a chance of bouncing his shot off the front, as does... Well, he doesn't have a chance. He can bounce mine quite comfortably. Oh, where is that little shit? There's the little shit. Get away from my teammate, you. Do you have FPE, buddy? Let's go be a nice teammate and help him. Because that's just what we can do. No problem, mate. Even though I won't be able to help you repair before the match ends, let's help fix you up. And there you go. 8 kills, Not a bad run. And there we go. Teammate fixed just as the match ends. Not a bad result. Like, yeah, this thing may have the same gun as the M1441 Premium. The fact is, you can actually make use of this thing. And, well, I mean, it doesn't do the best in terms of RP, but, well, I only had 1,000 left on this anyway. But, like I say, it pays relatively okay for a Rank 2 Premium. Obviously, it's a bit lower than some of the Rank 2s. But for the price increase, because this used to be 700 GE, it's absolutely worth it.